Welcome to Fundamental of GIS, History of GIS. This is the series for History of GIS. Second part for the commercial era from 1976 to 2001, as I mentioned, that the majority of the slides is based on Eric Hall, Bill Moreland, Craig Grillgrass, and Don Cookie in June 2013. And we were going to pick up where we just left from the last slides, okay? Back in 1982, I want you to remember that Esri that releases ArcInfo 1.0. It's the first commercially available GIS software package which ran on mainframe computers was released. And the key information is that it followed the CGIS ideal of separating attribute and locational information, combined a standard RDBMS info to handle attribute data with specialized software to handle objects stored as arcs. A toolbox with commercial command-driven product-oriented user interface. First GIS to take advantage of Superminis, Prime, then IBM and VAX and DG. Took them 9 months to develop. The second important thing in 1982 is the first Soviet Union GLONASS experimental Block 1 navigating satellite launched. So global coverage completed in 1995. So there is still developing, but it was a good start. A second generation satellite navigation system, improving on the TISC-CLUM system, provided position accuracy of 55 to 70 meters horizontal and around 70 meters vertical. 1983, Ronald Reagan announces GPS signals will be available for civilian use after the Soviet downing Korean Airlines 747. Moved to 1975, Bell Labs published the C++ programming language after inventing the language. And it's a very successful language that it's good for us to learn. Symbolic registered the first .com domain name. And Microsoft released Windows 1 and Word. eTalk produces the first automated car navigation system, and yes, Esri releases ArcInfo 3.0. The GPS global positioning system becomes operational. Very good. It's a good year. And 1986 is a successful year too for Esri. Esri released the PC ArcInfo, ran on in Laszlo Bardos, Andrew Dresser, John Heller, Mike Marvin, and Sean O'Sullivan founded MapInfo. And it ran on ICM PC at under DOS 3.1. When I was little, I think I used the DOS system, but now it's all changed. Okay, PC version of Info, the first software available for the personal computer, was released. Yay! And technical support becomes a formal department with 2 full-time staff. And a new training center is established. Many things going on. In 1987, Association of American Geographers created the GIS Specialty Group. And I want to point out, it is the largest specialty group in AAG. The International Journal of Geographic Information Analysis gets published. ROM Eastman starts the IDRISI project at Clark University. And I have a video for the GIS people that we talk about Ron Eastman. You are welcome to refer if you want to learn more about Ron Eastman. First, Esri User Conference in Palm Springs, and Esri releases ArcInfo. That includes the AML, Unix workstations, Unix installs done by users, and 1050 ArcInfo systems in use. And you can also see the geocoding experiment that Peter Gold sent envelopes to colleagues worldwide with Wordle tabulars, geographical coordinates. In 1888, William Bunch published the Nuclear War Atlas. Maps the state of nuclear readiness, the possible courses of nuclear war, and the post-nuclear war world. Ezra Zubro, State University of New York at Buffalo, starts the GISL Internet listserver. Founded as GIS World, the monthly magazine GEO World, the world's first magazine for geographic technology, gets published. The National Center for Geographic Information and Analysis, NCGIA, is established in the USA. Moved to 1989, the WWW, as we know as the World Wide Web, was created by Tim Berners-Lee and Robert Kalial for CERN in Geneva. So they introduced the key concepts, which included HTML, HTTP URL. Roger Brunet and the other French geographers identified the blue banana. Joe Van Rossel, BDFL, Benevolent Dictator for Life Begins, developed by the Python programming language. And nowadays, Python is widely used in ArcGIS system. He developed this as a hobby programming project that kept him occupied during the week around Christmas in 1989. And now it's Christmas. Should I learn some programming and develop some? Waiting for my new videos, and we will see. Intended as a descendant of ABC that would appeal to Unix C hackers, Python is often used as a scripting language for web apps now. Python was intended to be highly readable with an uncluttered visual layout. The desktop image processing software, ERMapper, is launched. And let's move on to the 1990s, the third phase of evolution GIS. The 1990s, starting from the 1990s, GIS entered in a new era. So we mentioned how computer science developed and computer technology develops and it pushes. It has great effects on GIS science. So as the computing power increased and hardware prices plummeted, the GIS became a viable technology for state and municipal planning. In this third phase of evolution, GIS is asked to become a real management information system and thus able to support decision-making process. Okay, let's start from 1991. It seemed as the turning point in the GIS industry due to the beginning of mass acceptance of GIS. And Esri released ArcView 1 and ArcInfo 6.0. Esri released ArcView 1.0, a desktop mapping system with a graphical user interface that marked a major improvement in usability over ArcInfo CLI. So the major re-engineering, redesigned manual interface, dynamic segmentation, enhanced segmentation, and enhanced cartographic tools, grid extension for raster modeling. And you cannot see from here for the grid. But and another important thing is the first web page is created in 1991. And you can see this picture. The IBM demonstrates Siemens at Codex, the world's first smartphone, and it was $899. It equals like today $1,300 US dollars. Contain a calendar, address book, world clock, calculator, very good, and notepad, email, send and receive text, and games. No physical button to dial with. Let's put the image back on. And you can see that the customer used a touch screen. You can touch it from here to select phone numbers. Text enter with an on-screen predictive keyboard. That's how it looks like. Low end by today's standards, of course. Neil Papworth sends the first message from his computer to an Alcatel 901 mobile phone. Development instigated by Vandal Phone for use with an executive pager. Received on December 3rd, 1992, the message read rather festivity. Merry Christmas. And think about now, a virtual text message sent in 2012. Wow, it's a huge change. Back in 2002, you only can send one message. That was the first phone was when it invented. 1993, the first thing I want to point out is the first web-based interactive map. Axial Pack Map Viewer was developed by Steve Poots. The first web-based interactive map viewer. Implemented as a Perl script, accepted requests for map rendering and returns an HTML document, including an inline GIF image. Mosaic, the first popular web browser released by NCSA, National Center for Supercomputer Applications, written by Mac Anderson and Eric Bina. The European Umbrella Organization for Geographic Information is established in Europe. 1994, Map Server, GIS Minnesota begins development intended to support web-based delivery of forestry data. Java operates initially Unix Linux-based. World Wide Web Consortium W3C was founded by Tim Berners-Lee. Founded at the MIT Laboratory for Computer Science, MIT LCS, with support from the European Commission and the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. Standards include CGI, CSS, HTML, SOAP, SVG, WSDL, XML, XPath, and XQuery. And the OpenGIS Consortium, aiming in developing publicly available geoprocessing specification, was founded. National Spatial Data Infrastructure is formed in US by an executive order of President Bill Clinton. And the National Geographic Data Framework established in UK. It's an important thing in history because that is widely used